Obìnrin alẹ́ ọkàn mi ìyípadà Felicia Ọjọ́sánmi lórúkọ mi aka FGY ọmọ tí wọ́n ń sọ. A wà nínú Ansar-ud-deen High School tí wọ́n ń ṣe host student annual general meeting wọn lénìí tí ó jẹ́ pé ìpàdé ní ó dùn ó láàrin ó kọjá bẹ́ẹ̀ àmọ́ mo wà ní sọ̀rọ̀ pọ̀ ẹ jẹ́ kí n gbé yín lọ sí òkè náà kí a máa lọ bó ṣe ń lọ.
And we thank God that the man below is still alive and yes. I said I thank God he's still alive. Yes. So I will invite the man below to please give us the opening prayer. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Ilé kí a dúpẹ́ fún Ọlọ́run, ilé kí a tún dúpẹ́ fún ilé awúrọ̀ pé ẹ̀ka ńlá wà ní ayé àwọn ọmọ adúpẹ́ fún Ọlọ́run tó tó wáyà olùsọ̀kọ̀dá títí di ìlú ọ̀pẹ́ ńlá ní Ọlọ́run pẹ̀lú tó bá àtàbẹ̀ àwọn ọmọdé àti tàbáyọ ọmọ máṣá ìjọba ní máṣá ìkéyọ fún wa ọ̀dà àjẹkọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ olùkálùkọ̀ tó bá ní àmúyàn kí ó dà fún Ọlọ́run kó máa bá àdúrà tàbí èdè ilẹ̀ ọlọ́run bá ṣàgbàgbà tàbá tọrọ náà ọlọ́run já kú lẹ́yìn àwọn àgbàgbà dígẹ̀rù ọlọ́run máa lè tó òun wa àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ wọn ṣe ìtọ́ ìrọ̀ ní bisimilá ìrànwọ́ wà tó ní ká òjò àtúná àti iná Ibrahim àdákáwọ́ nìyí àbíkọ́ àwùjọ rẹ̀ tẹ̀sí máa ń ṣàrọ̀ nínú bàkà bínú àdé. ووهبنا له إسحاق ويعقوب كلها هدينا وآتينا من قبل ومن ذريته داود وسليمان وأيوب ويوسف وموسى وهارون وكذلك نجزي المحسنين وزكريا ويحيى وعيسى وإلياس ومن الصالحين وإسماعيل وإلياسا ويونس ويوسى وكلا فضلنا على العالمين ومن أنبائه وذرياته وإخوانه وتبعناهم صراطك المستقيم بداية فاتحة بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Thank you. We sing both the national anthem and the school anthem before we call it. So let's have the president. Let's have the national anthem. Let's get up.
Shall be our sin.
Rise to fame. Never will the marshal be disgraced. The marshal rise to fame. Never will the marshal be disgraced. Never will the marshal be disgraced. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We also thank God that the majority of... Can we have one house, please? Members are alive today. In honor of those that are no longer with us, let us rise and observe a minute silence in their honor, please. The soul of our perfect members rest in perfect peace. And item number 4 is the welcome address by the President. And I want to proceed accordingly. The distinguished POT members.
If you will allow us to adopt that agenda, sir.
Yes, sir.
For this minute.
What is for the adoption of the agenda for today's meeting?
Kindly urge our members to reduce the traffic on this road and all our vendors towards ensuring that this we have a little movement around. I think after that I want to move a motion that this agenda, having considered it to be appropriate to guide this celebration, I, Dr. Tunji Akitade, a member of 7984, hereby move the motion for this agenda to serve as a guide to this AGM 2024. I so move, sir. Thank you.
I, Alaja Abisoye Dayat Ebiola Pagba from 6973 said, hereby support the motion that the agenda be considered.
The agenda for today's meeting. Item number 4 is the welcome address by the President, and I want to proceed accordingly. Distinguished members of the BOT here present, the past presidents of the association, the SEX chairman here present, and other members of our great association that are attending to this meeting, both physically and virtually. I welcome you all to the 2024 annual general meeting of Ansar-ud-deen High School Old Student Association. As you all know, this is the first annual general meeting to be held under my leadership as the president of this association. You will recall that the present executive committee of this association took over the management of this association on the 29th of April 2023. Annually, this association holds its annual general meeting in April of every year. However, we are holding our annual general meeting in June this year because we want to avoid the mistakes of the past and improve on our standard. There is no doubt that our association is growing and the expectation of our members are getting higher. Times are hard and a lot of members expect that association to provide for their needs. Some members need financial support, some need medical support, while others, especially the young generation members, need jobs. Unfortunately, the amount being generated as revenue by the association is very low, as most members don't pay their annual dues and set dues as and when due, respectively. The association in its present financial position cannot meet the demands and expectations of those who are in need of different supports. However, we will try as much as possible to see what we can do to support the members of the association. In the last 1 year, the members of the executive committee of the association have been working on ways and means of improving the revenue of the association. We believe that without money, nothing can be done. To that end, the executive committee will be presenting a proposal today for the setting up of a multi-purpose limited liability company that will engage in businesses that can generate adequate revenue for the association. The corporate social responsibility of the company will be to cater for the welfare of the members of the association. The executive committee has identified business opportunities in the health and fire sectors of the economy and have engaged consultants to prepare a comprehensive business plan that will be handed over to the management of the multi-purpose company for consideration and implementation. Furthermore, the executive committee of the association is taking the health of our members very seriously. We believe in the saying that health is wealth. Hence, we have received a proposal for a comprehensive health insurance policy from a reputable health insurance company. The proposal will be presented today for your approval. In the area of improving the infrastructure of our alma mater, the executive committee has been working in collaboration with some of our members who are facilitating the construction of the following projects. Namely, the construction of blocks of additional classrooms in the senior secondary school. You will recall that recently, sometime in October last year, we commissioned a building that was donated by the Federal Inland Revenue in the junior secondary school. That project was facilitated by a member of this association. In the same vein, the one that is being proposed for the senior secondary school is being facilitated by another member of the association. We were here yesterday with a team of the professional teams that went around to do an evaluation of the existing structure that we have. The approval for that is already at an advanced stage. And then we would give further details and information in that regard when we have it. Another project is the construction of e-library. We have a room that has been dedicated for that already under the admin block, the former, I think, physics laboratory that we used to have when we were in school. That place has been renovated to some extent, I think by a member of the 73-77 set. But another person wants to take it up so that they can convert it to e-library in line with the present situation. The third project that we look at is the construction of the multi-purpose center for basketball, volleyball, handball, hockey, and table tennis. We don't have so much space, but if we have that complex, at least they can interchange for the students to, do their sporting activities along the lines of those that I've just mentioned. So the design for that is equally in place, and it's awaiting final approval. Then the first one is the construction of the Standard Vocational and Skill Acquisition Center. Part of the building that is being proposed to be constructed for additional classroom is going to accommodate that facility. So these are the four support to the ESCO behind the scene. Their advice and support have been tremendous and motivating. These members really talk on the association platform. They do their things quietly and don't want their names mentioned. Anytime they see any comment on the platform, they don't jump into confusion. They call us privately to seek for clarification. In closing, let me state that the members of the executive committee are not perfect. As human beings, we are bound to make mistakes. We are also not averse to constructive criticism. We are ready and willing to be corrected when we make mistakes. However, I want to appeal to those who are in the habit of coming to the association platform to make inciting comments against the EXCO to praise their steps. The work of the EXCO is not as easy or simple as some people think. I will encourage those who think the job is easy to please come out to contest election to serve the association as an EXCO member next year. Let me just use the event of 2 or 3 days ago to illustrate that the job we are doing is not as easy as people think. The son of our General Secretary graduated from the medical school and he was inducted into the medical profession on Wednesday, this last Wednesday. She couldn't travel for that program in Calabar because she is a chairperson for the AGM, and there are quite a lot of work that are pending to be done so that things will go on smoothly today. That is our son's graduation. How many of us can do that kind of sacrifice? So when people want to correct us, they should do so politely. We don't need to insult those who are rendering selfless service to the association simply because they make one mistake or the other. I hope that we'll get better cooperation from the members of the association, and I want to thank you all for taking your time to attend this meeting. Thank you very much. The last annual general meeting at page 12, I think, to 14 of the AGM report that we can use for this purpose. It is either we allow the General Secretary to read the minutes, and the other option is for us to quickly go through the minutes within a short period of time and then move to adoption of the minutes.
Of the annual general meeting held on Sunday, 30th of April 2023 in the school hall. The meeting opened with a prayer. The meeting was called to order by the President, Mr. Rafiu Williams, with an opening prayer by Alhaji Mustapha Bello. Formal introduction. To save time, it was agreed that since everyone has listed their names on the register, no need for that. Welcome address by the President. The President, in his humble nature, thanked everyone for being their servants for the past 4 years. He said, managing a complex and conflicting group is taxing. He went on to exalt the Ansar-ud-deen High School Society for opening the doors of other schools to all, regardless of faith, tribe, or gender. This has helped most of us who pass through the school in all facets of our lives. Adoption of the agenda. This was done by Mr. Waliu Onibo, reading and adoption of the last AGM minutes. The last minute was read by the Secretary General, Mr. Lukman Abdul. Observation. Alhaja AIE Fabai corrected that her name is not Fabachi. Second, we should be specific about the dates and which year. Third, there was no commencement time and closing in the minutes. After all the observations, Barrister Adewale Oshodu moved the motion for adoption of the minutes, and it was supported by Alhaji Ansar-ud-deen Akodu. Presentation of annual reports. The Secretary's report was read by Mr. Lukman Abdul. 2. The 2023 financial statement was postponed because the BOT has not vetted them. Comments. Dr. Akintade stated that the Secretary's report should have been discerned by the executive before printing. The immediate past president, Mr. Adamson Uswagi in the UK, appealed on the report. We have an able body of accountants who can do the job. Also, there should be a quarter or half-year reports presented to the executive 3 or 4 months on the AGM. 3. Mr. Ade Olumiro, NY, in New York, is of the view that it is embarrassing that there's no financial report. He also suggested that we should have our own Zoom account for meetings. Dr. Sherifa Yusuf observed that during the 7782 set Ruby Jubilee, the following were missing. 1. 20,000 Naira scholarship that was given to bright students in the STEM subjects. 2. A human skeleton figure was donated to the biology lab. Motion for adoption of the report. Alhaja Fagai moved the motion for the adoption of the report, which was seconded by Barrister Akin Enemede. The solution of the National Executive Committee. Mr. Oluwaron Rotimi Oje moved the motion for the resolution of the National Executive headed by Mr. Rafi Williams, which was supported by Lahaja Fausat Thompson. General election. Members of the Electoral Committee are Alhaji Tajuddin Okerinde, who is the chairman, Alhaja Saidat Adejumobi, who is the vice chairperson, Mr. Ademola Pakomaya, who is the secretary, Mr. Anthony Uche, a member, and Mrs. Fatima Alabi, who is also a member. All the posts contested were unopposed, except for that of the first vice president. 2 members were disqualified. They are Olajide Aderounmu for campaigning after the deadline by the Electoral Committee, and April Jegede for doing a bulk campaign after the committee had warned against it. Oluwarotimi Oje pleaded that the foregoing candidates be allowed since there was no opposition. Barrister Akin Enemede concurred with him. After much deliberation, the chair of the Electoral Committee agreed. The following officers was Mr. Fakomaya, who also doubled as the secretary. After these, the 2 candidates of the position for the first vice president were allowed to present their manifesto to the House. The contestants are Dr. Latif Ogboye of 74-79 set and Professor Femi Odebili of 80-81 set. After this, and 85 set. After this, the election was set in motion. Total number of votes, 119 members. Void, 7. Diaspora, 7. Total votes counted, 119. Enumeration of votes. Ogoye had physical 44, diaspora 5, and a total of 49 votes, while Odebi had 68 physical, 2 diaspora, and a total of 70 votes. So the whole total is 119. After the election, Professor Femi Odebi was declared the winner as the first vice president with a total number of votes of 70 against the opponent of 49. Following the oath of office to the newly elected ESCO was administered by Akin Enemede Esquire. So these are the executive members. 1. The President, Barrister Olatunji Sheriff. First Vice, Professor Femi Odebili. Second Vice President, Zikrulahi Bashir, Secretary General, Agatha Cynthia Adugu, Assistant Secretary General, Raji Ademola, Financial Secretary, Olajide Adewumi, Treasurer, Olaronje Teslim, Internal Auditor, Okarende Ogundari, Social Secretary, Ajiani Kebuhari, Welfare Secretary, Alhaja Kende Chitabe, Publicity Secretary, Mrs. April Jegede, Sports Secretary, Alhaji Yunusa Ogudo, and the Legal Advisor, Abara Chiagoro. The new President, Barrister Olatunji Sharif, thanked all members. He said his tenure shall comprise of both young and old. The alumni shall not be left out. He talked further that everyone's welfare shall be taken care of, including the executive. He will not support the idea of not taking care of the executive in times of need, as characterized by the last executive. He rounded off by saying members of the new cabinet, with the cooperation of other members, will take the association to a level never witnessed before. Finally, he prayed that every successful cabinet shall be better than the predecessor. Lukman Abdul, General Secretary. That's the minutes of the last AGM.
I will listen to the minutes. Are there corrections or amendments to be made to the minutes?
The attendance list, when you look at the number 66, Adileye MA, I was not in the school in 1963. I was in the school in 1967. So 67, 71. Now 63, 71, please. I spent 9 years in school. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Mr. President and Council, I want to thank the Secretary for giving us this minute. I want to announce officially that minutes of all associations or organizations are legal documents. And by that, it means that it shows our representation, the type of organization that we have outside. Having said that, President, I want to advise that the content, even though it represents what we discussed at the last AGM, and by default, we cannot fault the content. It's a very good representation of what transpired. But we need to correct a lot of grammatical errors. For instance, the second paragraph talking about tax. There was a timing that was obviously absent in the last AGM. And I think that also repeated itself in this. What that means is that we need to look at the AGM report into two, because this document is going to be filed when the current student becomes the ESCO in another 10 years. They are going to defer to it. So I want to plead to us that we are going to adopt this. That is not a mistake that would warrant us not adopting these minutes. But we need to make that correction after this AGM to look at those things. For instance, item 6.1 33 also points that there was no commencement time and closing, and we also realized that in this minute that thing was not also timed in this, because this correction was actually referring to the previous minute. So this particular minute is also having no time of commencement and time off. I also observed that item 50, adoption of agenda, was done by a past president. I want to plead with the secretary, even though she is not the secretary that took this minute, but a subject like that, is position needs to be mentioned before the day. Alhaji Waliu is the board member, is a past president, and we can have other Walius in this school. The same thing with my name. I have 3 of my other siblings that passed through this school. So when you mention Akitade, it does not speak to any one of us. So it's always good to use the name, the prefix, even though even it is an initial, to always put it. Mr. President, sir, I know I may be speaking too long for a lot of people, but it's always very good to pinpoint this in an AGM. When I got here today, I said AGM is a business. It's not, we don't need dancing, we don't need anything, but we need to come and, Mr. President, this your tenure will set a standard. I observed that in your opening remark. And if we do not support you to put those standards into perspective, it may cause a lot of problems. I also want to note that the secretary that reported this is here. I've seen him. He became 60 years yesterday. Yes, he's here. In writing secretariat reports, you don't put everything down verbatim. Hausa is a united family. You don't put anything down. A situation where you are reporting that the president made mention that as it was characterized by the last executive is not a statement that should be, even though the president has said it, you have to modify the way you say it. I'm saying this with clear conscience, and that will need us to put Hausa in proper perspective. Mr. President, thank you very much.
President and the House during that election, I was present here. I wondered why my name was not in the attendance, particularly being a Senate chairman of 75-8, and I can see that some of our members they were here then, were not present. I don't know whether it was deliberate or not. Thank you.
That was the election of the second term of Mr. Williams tenure. This election was the election that brought in the members of the President Expo. I'm sure we did not contest against Professor Levy. Thank you. The General Secretary.
Taxing and tasking. I believe you all have the dictionary at African here. You can check the name of taxing and tasking. Taxing is appropriate, very, very appropriate. And in terms of places, they are both adjectives. So it's appropriate in the meaning. You can check it. Thank you.
Of the 7782 set. My observation is on page 13. Page 13, 734. I wish to read that. Dr. Sharifa Yusuf observed that during the 7782 set grouping meeting, the following were missing. What exactly are missing? They are not stated. We want to know what are missing. No. What you have in 4142 are different issues. They are talking of things that were donated. So what exactly is missing? There are some certain things are missing.
Dr. Sharifa Yusuf observed in the minutes of the AGM, I think of 2022, was that the events of the 77-82 sets were not recorded. They were missing in that minutes. I think that was the correction she was trying to point out, that it was omitted from that minutes, that event was not recorded. And she pointed out the specific things that the sets did during the celebration, which was the 20,000 naira scholarship given to bright scholars in STEM subjects. And then even on 7342, it was not a human skeleton figure that was donated. It was not a human skeleton. We couldn't have donated a human skeleton. And that was even just... Yes.
I think correcting the content.
Exactly.
That word is not brilliant. It's not bright. It's brilliant.
Yes.
You understand? That thing is bright. The bright color is brilliant. Then the second one is manichae, human manichae.
Yes. So we with the right sense, that's what we are trying to do. And I think all the observations that Dr. Akintani made are noted, and I found them very useful. We'll try as much as possible to ensure that we correct those mistakes maybe from this meeting and ensure that those mistakes are not made again. Now, paragraph 7.2. Paragraph 7.2 of the minutes, I think it is the 2022 financial statements that was postponed. It was the 2022 financial statements. Yes, not 2023. Corrections have been noted. Subject to the corrections as suggested made, can a member move a motion for the adoption of the...
Good afternoon, my elders. Good afternoon, my members. I'm a teacher. Good afternoon, Mas. Good afternoon, sirs. My name was not... my name was omitted, and I think I came with that day with my friends. So I don't know if it was a mistake or not. Thank you, sir.
Maybe you did not sign the agendas. Maybe you forgot to sign the agendas.
But getting to the solution of the national executive, it was written Alaja Pausa Thompson.
Okay,
and that one is not even only a mistake, but a very big one. Because in this school we have Alaja Pausa Thompson again, who is Mrs. Agbosasa, based in the United
What paragraph is that?
90.
90.
So that should be Alaja Pausa Thompson was not there. She's based in the US, Mrs. Agbosasa.
Adene Yahya Lawaka. I'm the secretary of 73-78 set. My members, their names are not properly spelled. Page 10 we have Mutiat.
What number?
45.
45.
The name is Mutiat Temitope Adebodun.
Not Mutiat. Mutiat.
Mutiat Temitope Adebodun, not
Adebola.
Adebola.
Not Adebola.
Yeah. Then there is Olasha Deshuaga. And 80 is Basirat Faith Ulukulano.
Number 80.
Yeah. Number 99 is Mufutiat Oyekun, not Musilu.
Number what was that?
9. And number 94, Samuel Udumo is of 73-78 set. 94, yeah. Samuel Uduma is of 73, 77, not 77. So we are higher back. If there is no any other subsequent amendment, I move the adoption of the minutes.
Chino is always a thing. Anyway, things I did a book around. Yeah, I supported the motion. Thank you very much. God bless you.
The secretarial report by the General Secretary.
Secretary General's report, 2023 to 2024 activities. My dear Hausans, it is with great pleasure I welcome you all to the 2024 annual general meeting of our great alumni. There were many activities that happened this year under the year under the three main activities that comes to mind. The first was the election of new executives to steer the affairs of the association. Second was the celebration of the 90th birthday of Alhaji Babatunde Saleh, a former principal in our school. He was part of the team that helped establish the Lagos State University LASU in Ojo, Lagos State. Finally, of note, the reunion party of 2023 tagged "We Are Nothing Without Each Other." It was held in grand style at the prestigious Lagos Airport Hotel in Ikeja, Lagos. The following are our usual activities. 1. General meetings. As required by the Constitution, we hold our general meetings every last Sunday of the month inside the school premises at 1 p.m. Birthday celebrants and the cutting of the cake for the month are celebrated on that day in the Secretariat. Board of Trustees, that is the BOT meeting. The Board of Trustees meeting was held twice as Constitution of the Association says in the Secretariat to contribute to the growth of the association and the school. Founders Day. It could not hold as planned because of the heavy downpour in Lagos. But the 81-86 set had a 2-day event that same week, which the first day was vocational training that involves teaching the students crafts like tie and dye and liquid soap making. The second day was the distribution of 60 school uniforms, 30 pieces for the junior and 30 pieces for the senior schools. So not just uniforms, we're also giving school bags, school sandals and school stockings. Annual Ramadan lecture. The year's Ramadan lecture was held on the 23rd of March 2024. The association looked inward by inviting an ex-student to be the chairperson of the occasion. He is Alhaji Afiz Abwola Abudu. The topic was humanity, the Islamic essence. Foodstuffs like rice, spaghetti, bread, and gari packaged in 2 kg bags were distributed to participants. The event was very impressive and it was well organized. Welfare package of members. The year under review had events with respect to the welfare of our members. The welfare committee visited the aged, the sick, also the bereaved members. The president, Barrister Olatunji Sherif, introduced a 3-in-1 insurance policy to members of the association. The insurance covers life, registration to any hospital of choice to get treatment when ill and to compensate with ₦1 million to the family of the bereaved. Individuals that pay 12,000 naira and sects that pay 100,000 as the annual dues are entitled to be beneficiaries of the insurance policy. Quarterly welfare package for members over 70 years was also given. The welfare committee also ensured that Hausa was well represented at members' social ceremonies such as burials, the 100 years of Ansar-ud-deen, and adequate support was given. The welfare fund is dwindling, and this cause was concern. Increment of Hausa annual dues. Due to the inflation rate in the country, the annual dues was increased. Sects are to pay 100,000 and individuals to pay 12,000. It took effect from October 2023. Our sites were encouraged to pay both the individual dues and set dues. Events. Alhaji Babatunde Selim's birthday. Alhaji Babatunde Selim was a principal of Ansar-ud-deen High School from 1964 to 1974. He was the first Deputy Vice Chancellor of Lagos State University LASU. He was 90 years on the 5th of August 2023. Okay, it's supposed to be night. Alright, he was celebrated by the association with the full packaging of the Hausa beauty at the Echo Arcade at Surrey, Lagos. 100 years anniversary of Ansar-ud-deen Society. It was titled Centenary Luncheon. The anniversary was held at the Bells Event Center, Lagos, on Saturday, the 20th of December 2023. Some notable Hausaites and Hausa national expos, led by the President, Barrister Olatunji Sheriff, graced the occasion. 3. The 7883 set celebrated their 40th anniversary at the Blessings Hall, Lagos Arcade, Echo Arcade Hall on the 8th of July 2023. Lots of their members at home and in diaspora graced the event. Invitation was extended to other sets to celebrate with them. It was the first official event of the President, Barrister Olatunji Sheriff, after the election. It was a week long of activities. It started on the 5th of July with the interdenominational service and visits to the less privileged. They gave a talk to the students titled Counseling on Drugs and Antisocial Behavior. A customized 5 kg bag of rice was distributed to the teachers and upper management of the school. The 7681 set held their annual reunion in the school hall, and they invited the national president, Barrister Olatunji Sheriff, the General Secretary, Mrs. Agatha Cynthia Abibu, and the PRO, Mrs. April Jagede, to celebrate with them at the event. Celebration of sex and individuals to the school. 8388 set celebrated their 35th anniversary on December 23rd. They renovated a block of classrooms to the studio school. Alaja Fausat Oguni, a member of 7383 set and retired director of FIRS, and retired director of FIRS, facilitated FIRS donating a whole building to the junior school as part of their CSR. This project started during the tenure of the immediate past president, Mr. Rafiu Williams, but it was completed and commissioned on the 10th of October 2023. The 81-86 set gave out 60 pieces of school uniforms, school sandals, socks, and school bags to both the junior and the senior schools. 60 jam forms were distributed to students in the senior exit class, that's SS3, and 2 brand new sewing machines were donated to the home economics class. Vocational training was organized in the school for the students, focusing on soap making, sewing of clothes, and tie and dye making. So these were all the contributions made by 81-86 sets. As part of the 40th anniversary, 78-83 sets gave out prizes to the best. 77-83. So 77-83. 78-83 set gave some prizes to the best well-performed students for academic excellence. They gave out 20,000 to some students and a laptop to the best overall students in the last BECE and some STEM material. 5. The 77-82 set had their second edition of prize giving day to the students as part of their 40th anniversary project in October 2022. The set is to sponsor a prize giving day for a minimum of 3 years. They gave out 53 STEM materials, also cash prizes of 20,000 to the best overall students as an award of academic excellence. In addition, the final students received commemorative plaques in addition. 6. Honorable Kayode Fuad, a member of 83-88 set and present representative of Surulere Constituency 1 at the federal level, gave out 500 joint admission and matriculation JAM forms to students in the senior school. 7. Honorable Fuad Kayode Lakuda sponsored. Honorable Fuad Kayode Lakuda sponsored the watching of the film The Lion and the Jewel by Professor Wale Soyinka. The book is part of WASP syllabus for the students, offering literature in English. About 60 students from different schools in Surulere 1 were there, and 10 students represented Ansar-ud-deen High School. The event took place at J.F. Ade Ajayi Main Auditorium, University of Lagos. Contribution of sets and individuals to the association. 1. The UK/Ireland member John Akpan, Akin Bello, Ademola Adeniro, and some sets have been very supportive for the success of the AGM and some events held in the association. Senior Ademola Adeniro from the UK donated 20 bags of rice, spaghetti, and gari for the Ramadan lecture held in 2024. It came in very handy with the crowd that attended the event. Number 3, charity begins at home. The 81-86 set gave out palliatives to all interested members who were in need. The event took place inside the school compound in the secretariat. Annual reunion party. The reunion for last year was held at Lagos Airport Hotel in Ikeja. The theme was "We are nothing without each other." It was well attended by our own sites from home and abroad. On that day, the president formally launched the newly revamped AOSA website and officially introduced the 3-in-1 insurance scheme to members. With sadness but total submission to the will of God, that of God Almighty, we love the following members in the year under review. They are 1. Mrs. Fausat Atinuke Wahab, the wife of Otumba Wahab, a senior of 72-76 sets. Mr. Oladele David Awe of 73-77 sets. Nakta George Ruford of 73-77 sets. Peter Orie Wagwogo of 73-77 sets. Alhaja Rafiat Olajumoke Aino Ne Shokoya of 81-86 sets. And Alhaja Juarat Alabe Waliu. We lost these people, may their souls rest in perfect peace. Conclusion. Want to use this medium to appreciate God Almighty for the gift of life and of good health, a sound body and mind to discharge my duties. I appreciate the support of members of the association who have been very helpful and supportive in one way or another when called upon. This includes my family, my ever-supportive set members, 85 sets, our chairman, Dr. Aduladere Isipeni, the national president, Barrister Sheriff Olatunji, fellow ESCOs, and the administrative secretary. May God continue to bless us all. Thank you.
Madam General Secretary, I will now, before we deliberate on the report, I think we can just take both together. I will call on the treasurer to present the financial report from the association on behalf of the financial secretary. We will ask to go for an important, to attend an important, urgent, pressing family issue.
But when we get to 2023, the narrative also changes. So it is better for us not to look at values of what is in our purse, but what is the impact on the members, and that is very crucial to me. If you report a 0 naira today, and I'm seeing a well laid out compound, and you tell me that we don't have money, then I will tell you that we have money, because this report has also shown the value of AOSA. The total value of AOSA is reported in that final report. What is the value of AOSA as we stand today? So what is important is for us to be able to advise the ESCO that we should look thoroughly into what is the value of and depreciation of what we have.
By a large has to do with salaries of 2-point-something million. And I guess if you want to know who are the people who are paying such salary. Because, I mean, everybody knows that we have just 2 staff in the secretariat. And I know that we are not earning that much that will come to that figure. But the clarification is this. There are some teachers that were hired by the association, that the association is paying their salary. We have a biology teacher, we have the history teacher, and we have the ICT teacher. The salaries for these people are paid by some members in the diaspora. And what they do is to send that money to the association's account. At the end of every month, we get clearance from the school management to confirm whether they were present at work or not. And it is when we get that clarification that we make payment for such people. So it is the totality of such payments that came to the 2-point-something million. For example, the biology teachers collects 80,000, history teacher collects 80,000, the ICT teacher collects 30,000, admin collects 80,000, and the admin secretary collects 80,000, and the admin officer supposed to collect 30,000. If you had the total amount together, it gives us 300,000 naira. So in a year, that is about 3.6 million. So when we hear, because some of them we just even increase them because of what I mean. So when people hear the figure, 1 million, who collected it? That is the breakdown. And I think that is the verification for that. So, as a matter of fact, there is an inclusion of another teacher now, history, that has been added. So, the bill is going to go. The good news about this is that the funding is coming in externally, and the money is coming into the association account, and we must spend it for that purpose, and the record must capture it. So that is why we have that figure. So I don't think there is something amiss as that is concerned. Yes, sir.
And the note to the account. Number one, I'm the chairman of the education committee. I don't have an inkling on how this money comes into the account, which account it goes to, and how these people are recruited in the first instance. I have 3 teachers in this school that I pay from my personal box monthly. I don't pass it through the account of the association. It's a free will thing. If the people in the diaspora are paying, the money should first go into the education account for accountability and for transparency. That's number one. What is the contract between us and these teachers? Because the teachers I have in this school, every month they must come back and must check that they attend classes. I have the Arabic teacher. It's over 5 years I've been paying. I have an ICT guy that has just joined since last year. This is not a big thing. This is what we should do. But we should do it with the transparency that is required. How is this money coming into the account? How is it being disbursed? What is the contract of employment? Who employed them? Is it the association? If the association employs them, then the association is liable, and we must guide against those kind of things. If it's not the association that employs them, then the Lagos State government or the employer must know that we are rendering this service. Because if we don't, we run a big risk of collateral damage. So it's there in the account. But let us take the officers of the association, the admin secretary, and the ICT secretary. How come? And what is the modus operandi? Because I know that
is apostle, and his job schedule is to carry out administrative errand, if I may put it in that respect. Going to the banks, doing this administrative errand, that is what he does. And he's being paid 30,000. The exact amount that we inherited when we did it. The admin secretary is the one we have, because definitely we need administrative staff. They are not even enough, because most of the things that the school members are burdened with are things that should be handled if we have a well-structured administrative staff at the secretariat. But because of the paucity of funds, we had to maintain just one administrative secretary. Whose job is to type letters, to also do keep records of accounting records and general administrative work, right? So, and we inherited that structure on ground, and the same salary that he was paid when he was hired is what we continue with. So we cannot have an empty secretariat where you don't have any staff. So and it was the previous administration that hired that, but governance is a continuum. So whatever we inherited, we continue with it because we needed that. The IC is not the staff of the secretariat. He is the ICT teacher that was hired to teach the students in the school. All the salary structures that I read out are the salary structures that we met when we came in. All these teachers were hired by the association, not by the school. I think even before the last administration, there were shortages of teachers in some position, and the association intervened by hiring such teachers to teach the students. And I know, as a matter of fact, even some members of the association whose children are unemployed and who can teach were the ones that even nominated them and said this is the little they can do for them to be employed. Like the new history teacher now, I understand, is a child of one of the members of the set that is paying a salary. But as we know, it is all right because, just like it said, he is paying for 3 teachers. If you are doing it directly, without involving the association, there is no way that will be in our record. But for people abroad, some people don't want to do things like that. They want to pass through the association, and they don't want to pay the money to any individual accounts. So they pay into the association accounts. And what we meant on ground is that such money will be paid into the main account. Because as soon as it comes in, the payment will be affected. And before we pay, like I said, we get a letter from the school authority. There are occasions when they said these people, somebody did not come to work, we shouldn't pay. The ICT teachers or so. So, the moment it is captured, it may be, well, it has to be the education account or this account. Whether education account, whether main account, the account belongs to the association. And the money is being spent for the purpose it was meant. So I think for me, that is the most important issue. We shouldn't be too technical that it should be the education account, this and that. We have accounted for it. The reason why I made this clarification is for members to know how we came to that figure. So that they will not think that how come 2.something million is being paid to just 2 people. That is the purpose. So it is left for those who are paying this money to decide the way they want the money to be channeled and the salaries the channel through which payment should be made to the teachers. So that is as far as what is concerned.
Move a motion to adopt the Financial report 2022 and 2023 as presented by the National Treasurer of this association for the Financial Secretary. I so move. In discussion, I want to congratulate the Secretary General for allowing the daughter to be part of us. And like Alhaji Epiti has said, AGM is a legal discussion, it's not a medical discussion. However, today we have been told that the son, is it the son or the daughter now? The son of the Secretary General has just been inducted as a medical doctor. So I want to join Hausa to congratulate the Secretary General, Abi Anti-Secretary General.
His own angle is quite different from my own angle. My own angle is from sports. If you look at page 35, I saw a surplus of 25, and it's in the revenue. And when you come down, it's 25, which is a contra entry. But if you go to the details in the account, it explains in details. But in the account of 2023, I am yet to see the presentation of 2022. That, as it may, I want to emphasize that for sports, if you are talking about sports, I think without sports is involved in sports. And we have other games that is involved in sports. Now, for us to move on very well, we need to allocate more funds to the sports. How we get it is another thing entirely. Because if we must excel in sports, we have to fund it. I remember during my own days, we excel in sports, and it is hard work from students. Well, some of us train ourselves, not that the school was training us. Before I came to this school, I was already doing very well in table tennis before I entered the school. Therefore, this year, last year, 2023, I took it upon myself to come and coach the students. I had given myself 4 weeks program, but believe you, by the time I finished the second week, I was completely collapsed, that I could not recover from that loss of energy from the Ikorodu to this place. Now, in 2018, we were to employ a coach, but I don't know what President Adamson played the politics. We invited the coach, we interviewed him, and we asked him to start a job, but the politics was great, such that the coach did not continue. May I therefore suggest to you that this time around, in the first instance, we have not even inaugurated the sports committee up to now, and I've been shouting since we were elected. Now, we should be able to get a coach. I don't mind.
All Students Association statement of financial position as at 31st December 2023. We have non-current asset, current asset, total current asset in 2023 starts at 606,540 naira. As against 2022 is 7,026,033 naira. Current liability stands at 496,740 naira. As against 7,055,233 naira. The accumulated funds, financed by accumulated funds, 496,740 as against 7,055,233 naira in 2022. So the funds are in 2023 496,740 naira as against 7,055,233
55,233. The financial statement of the 46
the information is at least through experiences. You know that when reports are presented like this, when reports are presented, it means that it's presented for deliberation. It is after deliberation that we cannot report. That is the rule of the game. No report is adopted for anything before deliberation. So my clarification is that we must discuss them and then adopt and tender. At least there are two reports on ground now. We have secretariat report and we have financial secretary report, financial report. However, it seems as if in any AGM, we always concentrate on financial. We never talk about secretariat support. The secretariat report, which refers to activities of this executive, is not touched at all, and we must discuss it together. So that's where you cannot clarify certain issues. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Waliwo. I think we have two reports that are prepared. The report of the secretarial report is settled. Now we move to the financial reports. Do we take it one by one? We start with the 2022 financial reports.
Second question is this thing about Mr. Selen's birthday party. It gives me cause for serious concern. It means the whole association, the liquidity of the association is in a perilous state. We need clarification from the executive. And finally, at this meeting, I will move a motion that the financial secretary and the treasurer should resign. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the clarification.
Members of the executive, my humble respect, colleagues and members. I think the issue here is the word adopt. And the word adopt actually means you have accepted. My president, I think what we are trying to do is move for discussion, not adopt. The financials have been presented. It's available for discussion. We should discuss it, and after that discussion, we can now decide whether to adopt it or otherwise as our final document. That's my view. Thank you.
Support the motion for adoption of the general support.
This noble profession. Having said that, I want to also thank you very much for giving us your journey for 1 year. Again, I am going to advise that the journey is not as smooth as expected. We don't put you here to have a smooth journey. Let us know that for one. The president has said that the task of the ESCO is not simple, and until we get to that seat, we may not know. But we want to thank you very much for giving us that report. What I also think that should feature very well in that your report is why do we have a better financial contribution in terms of dues, levies and all that? What is the volume? Even though the financial report has captured it, but in the secretariat report we must be able to do it. The second thing that I also want to point out that is also very critical is how you proceed your report against the desired level of the association. You can see that it's only activities that was reported. And what am I saying? The president came in with a resume of activities that he said we were going to achieve. what level are we now? Why are we at that level, and what is impeding the movement? It is the Secretariat's report that is expected to capture that. And except you discuss with the President, we may not be able to put that in this document. I want to implore you that in the next year report, we want to see how we've been able to move forward. Outside the typographical errors and others, I want to thank you for that, for giving us that report, but it can be better. Thank you, Mr.
To my own knowledge, that subscription is the best words to use. Why can't we use dues instead of the subscription? What are we subscribing for? Thank you.
I'm the secretary. I know what the job of the secretary is. And in my own view and opinion, I commended the Secretary General for a good report. And I hope she will improve on this as per what I move the adoption of the Secretary General's report.
Ansar-ud-deen High School Old Student Association account for the year ended 31st December 2022. Statement of applicant accounting policy. That is for page 34. I will now read page 35. Ansar-ud-deen High School Old Student Association income statement for the year ended 31st December 2022. Revenue. Annual subscription for 2022 was 984,000 as against 2021, which is 1,123,000. The Union Party was in deficit 356,600 as against the deficit of 2021 also, which is 1,176,000. 68th anniversary for the year ended on page 34, and the notes are on page 38 to 40. They form part of this financial statement. The Ansar-ud-deen Association statement of financial position as at 31st December 2022. I think some of these things are written here. I want to give our indulgence to please go through it so that I can easily go through. But the pages are yet to be signed. The financial statement on page 8 to 13 were considered. I think this should be 34. On page 35 to 36. The financial statement on page 35 were considered at the annual general meeting held on 38 April 2023 and to be signed on behalf of the National Assembly by the then President, the National Treasurer, and the National Financial Secretary. So the notes to the account are on page 38, 39, 40. I want to move to 2023. The account, the answer.
Again, I said I want to appreciate Mr. Ansar-ud-deen for reading out that financial report, even though he did not prepare it. And I think what I wanted to point out before we start this deliberation, that he may not be able to answer questions on this. And I'm glad that the auditor is also a member and is with us, because he's going to take a lot of questions when it comes to financial reporting. And he said at the beginning that he is not the financial secretary, but is reading on behalf of the financial secretary. I want to thank you that, and I want to thank the president for allowing that procedure to go without age. Having said that, discussing 2022 unexpected
information.
Okay.
Thank you, National Treasurer. Now, the Secretariat report on the financial reports have been presented by the General Secretary and the Financial Secretary. Now, I will need to move a motion for the adoption of the two reports first. Then before we go on to deliberate on them.
Members of our House of Representatives, our President, I'm privileged that I'm representing the financial sector who is unavoidably absent. Good afternoon once again. The Ansar-ud-deen High School Student Association account for the year ended. The account I'm going to review in two parts. In 2022, the year ended 2022, and the year ended 2023. We remember that the year ended 2022 was inconclusive as at the last 8 years. So starting from page 30, is I will urge all of us to go through from page 30, 31, in order not to waste our time here. The external auditors has his own report on the page 32 and 33. The auditor by name is Oluwadele and Company.
It becomes the instrument of the association. We cannot adopt a qualified account without discussing it. Let us have the facts. What are the figures and how did these figures come about? The account is a qualified account. And once it is qualified, it means there are serious infringements. It says there clearly there's a contravention of the Companies and Other Matters Act. It is there in the auditor's report. So we cannot adopt this.
I want to start by appreciating Mr. Ansar-ud-deen for presenting the financial report for the year 2020 and 2023. It was a very good report that is expected to represent the status of house. I think the motion on ground first now is either we'll deliberate this financial report, and which one are we deliberating? Is it 2022 or 2023? I think we should take it one after the other, or we adopt before we start deliberation. I think there shouldn't be any disparity in that. I think the first thing, because once we adopt, it is taken as the document of the association. So I want to plead with the president to rule on either we'll deliberate or we move for adoption first before we start any input on this document. And the president.
Good afternoon, everybody. BOT members and the executive. I do not believe we should adopt this report. We should deliberate first before we adopt. This is a qualified report by the auditors, and it carries a lot of weight in terms of implication. So, I believe strongly we should deliberate on this report. We should ask questions. We should get clarification, especially on the account for 2023. From 2022, we had a surplus of over 7 million. By the end of 2023, we have just 400 and something thousand. Definitely something is amiss. I don't know what it is, but we need clarification. The first clarification is, how did the salary move from 400 and something thousand to 2-point-something million? Who were the employees and how much were they paid?
For the year ended 31st December 2023, the corporate information, the Ansar-ud-deen Student Association corporate information continued on page 43. See, the auditor is still Olu-Adinere chartered accountant. The statement of Ansar-ud-deen Student Association account for the year ended 31st December 2023, statement of significant accounting policy, runs on page 46. Now, Ansar-ud-deen Student Association income statement for the year ended 31st December 2023. The annual subscription for year 2023 is 2,261,000 naira. 904,000 in 2022. The union party for 2023 ran a deficit with 797,409 naira. As against 2022, which was also in deficit, 356,600 naira. 68th anniversary. 68th anniversary was run with a surplus of 170,000 naira. As against 2022, which was a deficit of 792,000. Inter-house sports, we have rain in 2023 and a surplus of 35,000 in 2022. Donations, 532,300 naira in 2023. 2022, we have 1,635,400 naira. Principal sent for, there was none for 2023. But the one of 2022 was with a deficit of 467,500 naira. Parcelling birthday celebration runs at a deficit of 3,993,900 naira. None for 2022. Electricity in 2023 is a deficit 117,911, whereas 2022 we have 136,140. Election forms, 27,000 was realized in 2023 and none for 2022. Social activities, and these are in surplus, 109,750 in 2022. As against 457,800 in 2022. Welfare program, these are in deficit, 62,000 in 2023 as against 4,000 in 2022. The accumulated revenue for 2023 stands at a deficit of 1,871,170 naira, as against a surplus of 1,608,240 in 2022. Expenses, administrative expenses, 507,150 in 2023, as against 338 naira, 101 naira in 2022. Salary and advances. 2023 stands at 2,575,000 naira, as against 900,000 in 2022.
Annual general meeting expenses 2023 876,700 as against 1,432,730 in 2022. Printing and stationery 50,000 in 2022 as against 500,000 in 2022. Education program nil in 2023. Entertainment nil. Repairs and maintenance nil. Donation 500,000 in 2023 and 25,000 in 2022. Bank charges 33,474 naira in 2023 as against 96,465 naira in 2022. Depreciation 145,000 in 2023 as against 212,212,212 naira in 2022. Total expenses for the year ended 31st December 2023 stands at 4,687,334 as against 2022, which stands at 3,810,708 naira. We have a deficit of 6,558,494,000 in 2023 as against a deficit of 2,192,464 naira in 2020.
The accounting policies at the bottom on page
46. The accounting policy on page 46 and the notes on pages 50 to 52. Please let me correct that one. The accounting policies on page 46 and the notes on pages 50 to 52 form part of this financial statement.
For observation and clarification on the secretarial report.
92,000 as against 1 million, which was a credit in 2021, 1,425,450. In the house spot, we have a surplus of 25,000. Donations in 2022, 1,635,400 as against 1,768,000 in 2021. Principal sent forth took place in 2022 and none in 2021 with a deficit of 467,500 naira. Electricity for the school 136,140. Election form nothing for 2022 and 14,000 for 2021. Social activities, this is in a surplus for 2022 457,800 as against a deficit of 157,500 in 2021. Welfare program, this is also in deficit with a 4,000 naira in 2022 as against 383,600 in 2021. The total revenue for 2021 stands at 1,608,240 as against 2,613,350 in 2021. Expenses. Administrative expenses for the year 2022 ended as 338,101 naira as against 105,300 naira in 2021. Salary and advances 900,000 in 2022 as against 700,000 in 2021. Annual general meeting expenses 1,432,730 in 2022 as against 1,185,700 in 2021. Printing and stationery 500,000 in 2022 as against 53,000 in 2021. Education program. There are notes on these items there. For salary and advances, you can see it on the note is on page 12. Education program, the note is on page 13. 160,000 for 2022 and 520,000 in 2021. Entertainment, 72,000 in 2022 as against 570,000 in 2021. Repairs and maintenance, 72,200 in 2022 as against 10,000 in 2021. Donation, 25,000.
Nothing for 2021.
Bank charges, 96,465 naira in 2022 as against 33,244 naira in 2021. Depreciation, we have
212,212 naira as against 229,521 in 2021.
Total expenses for the year ended 31st 2022, we have 3,810,708 naira as against 3,406,765 naira in 2021. Then we have there is a surplus of expenses over revenue, which gives us a deficit of 2,192,468,000 as against 793,412. Now, at the bottom of the page there, the accounting policies should be on page 34 and the notes on the pages 38 to 40, not 7 and 11 to 13 as written there.
That's a matter of nomenclature. Noted. That's the answer. So if we don't have any further contribution on the secretarial report, can we move for the adoption of the secretarial report before we proceed to the financial report? Not likely to be contentious. Let us deliberate on the secretarial report first, and then we can then come to the financial report.
Alhaji Rafi Adisabiti, a member of the chairman of the Education Committee, AOSA. Today is the AGM, and I'm glad I'm here to look at the accounts and make recommendations. We give glory and thanks to Almighty Allah for having today, and then we pray that we can see more of these days. For the members, we wish them well, and we pray that each one and all of us will have long life and prosperity to further the institution. Thank you very much.
Today, my name is Mrs. Agatha Cynthia Adibu. I just want to thank God for a successful AGM and the chairperson of the AGM committee. Thank God that it all went well. So all the corrections that were made today, by the grace of God, we'll try and see that we correct it and move our stuff forward. Thank you for coming.
Okay, I'm by name Alhaji Abdulkader Ailagbada Mosi, member of AUSA 65-69 set. We are trying to, it is our practice to give annual reports of events of the school, in particular about AUSA Old Student Association, which we are in charge of. We have a lot, there are some documents which we must rectify. regarding annual reports. We are doing annual general meeting today, which means we are giving stewardship of what all our officers have done during the year, and is what we are trying to get solution to, and I pray we shall succeed. We shall succeed in getting correct reports down for the people to see that we are doing transparent job to them, that nothing fishing. That is the purpose of setting up what you are doing today. I'm very happy, and I wish the association best of luck to continue to move up from length to length. By the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار بجاه الفاتحة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا صراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. We shall succeed in Allah's name. Thank you very much.
My name is Ansar-ud-deen. Today we are here to attend the annual general meeting of the Hausa. This Ansar-ud-deen Old Students Association here. It has been quite an experience, and we have exchanged ideas, and we have equally been able to bear minds of some of the problems of the session, and suggestions have been made to ensure that we resolve this problem and we get a better association as we move forward. This school has created so much in what you have achieved in life, and it is time for all of us to give all that we have, both time, money and resources, to ensure the association stand firm and move from strength to strength. This is our prayer, is that all members of this association shall be found, shall progress, and they should impact possibly on association progress. Thank you.
We adopt it and we want to deliberate on it. After the adoption for deliberation is done, and then we deliberate, then the final deliberation will be adopted. So that is but I want to have further opinion. Mr. Tunde.
I remember I mentioned that the secretary shouldn't have mentioned that the president said I will take care of my ESCO too in the last report. But this financial report has actually said so much about it. If you look at the welfare, the financial report on welfare, it shows that there's a decline. Sorry, my seniors have actually requested for pages here. You may not be able to hear what they are saying.
6 to 48 were considered at the annual general meeting held on 38 June 2024. The date is not April 2023. We are talking about today. Held on 38 June 2024 and signed on behalf of the following national officers: National President, National Treasurer, National Financial Secretary. The notes are starting from page 49 to page 49. That we came in April. Before we came in April,
part of the outstanding amount in the account of the association had been spent under the previous administration. So if you see a balance of 7 point something million, in fact at one of the meeting the general secretary had to say, no, we didn't meet 7 point something million. How come they are writing 7 point something million? I was the one that told her that was as at end of December 2022. But we had January, February, March, April. Some spendings were made. There were some liabilities that we made. And we felt that it is better for us to clear those liabilities. So regarding what Dr. Akintabe said, so I think I hope I've been able to clarify some gray areas on this point.
Thank you, sir, Mr. President.
I can see two people saying
yes.
Sorry, sir.
Mr.
Abiodun Okerinde. I'm a member of the Board of Trustees of Ansar-ud-deen High School Old Student Association, AOSA. A wá ṣe annual general meeting láti mọ bí association wa ṣe ṣe sí nípa account àti gbogbo tá fi ń operate ohun tá ṣe ti torí ẹ̀ wá bí nìyẹn. À ń bára wa sọ̀rọ̀ láti mọ bá ṣe máa ṣe fún ìlọsíwájú ẹgbẹ́ yìí. Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ kí ẹgbẹ́ náà dàrú, kó máa lọ síwájú sí gbogbo àwọn olùdarí wa. Ọlọ́run kó wà pẹ̀lú wọn, kó ṣamọ̀nà wọn. La hawla wala quwwata illa billahi al-aliyyil azim.
My name is Oluwatoyin Modupe-Diali, a member of BOT of AOSA, Ansar-ud-deen Student Association of Students. And what we are here today is about the AGM for 2022 and 2023. There are some issues that we need to clarify, which has been clarified, but with what we've trashed out, nothing is perfect. There are times there are mistakes are done, and the mistakes done financially has been corrected. So we move forward, we pray that we'll do better. We do better next year. God help us. Up AOSA, up Lagos State, up Nigeria. God bless you. Thank you very much.
This is Dr. Tunji Akintade, a member of the 7984 set. Today we are having our annual general meeting of this great association, AOSA. It was actually meant to take place in April, but we had to postpone it due to some disparities in the financial report. But today we've been able to iron out the areas, even though we may have to defy it because we did not adopt it. But essentially, we resolved on so many things. The first is that the situation is evolving. The second is that we need to put up a system to go by the advice of the auditor. And the third is that we need to harmonize a lot of independent fundings that has been coming into the association. And I believe the president and his ESCO, they are willing to accept all these feedbacks. And we hope very seriously that they're going to work with the BOT, and by next year we'll have a better AGM. And I think this is what an association that are serious and they know what the sort is worth. This is what they should be doing. We are not coming here to laugh and go away. We are coming here to look at the books. We are coming here to represent the association, and we are coming here to put so many things in proper perspective so that we follow the normal thing and be transparent. And I think with the president leading us and accepting all this advice that has been put on the table, we will surely get to the desired goal. And I think this is a very good AGM as far as I'm concerned. Thank you very much.
My name is Wale Abiodun Onibon. I'm a member of the BOT of Ansar-ud-deen High School Old Students Association. What we are here today to do is to look at our affairs for the last 1 year in terms of activities and their financial situation of the society. And what we are doing is to really critique the account in order for us to have a way forward. And I hope that people have discussed the account very well, and they are now making a suggestion as to how to approve the whole situation. On this way, I want to pray that God give us wisdom to be able to carry out the activities in the way that is proper
for the whole for the association and for the school. Thank you.
Accept the wrong and say, let us cut a way forward to move in the association. What is important is that the educational committee still subsists.
The number of sets that are paid this year have increased. The number of individual members that are paid increased. We have set a revenue target for ourselves, and we are doing that. And I'm sure that by the next AGM, we will present a better report. So we appreciate your contribution, and we thank you so much for doing it. Regarding the financial, the members of the finance team, my problem is not with, because if the finance team must go, all the three of them must go. If the finance team must go, the auditor, the financial secretary, and the treasurer, all of them must go. So now the issue is we need to have an immediate replacement, because we cannot create a vacuum. If they resign voluntarily, no problem, and I'll discuss this with them. But if they don't resign voluntarily, they are elected officials. There are procedures for removing them. So now we can take a decision here by voting that should all the members of the finance team be removed from office. Those who are in support should raise their hands. Those who are in support should raise their hands. Let us take a vote on this.
Under Ahoda as an association, we pray, Lord, that as we are going back to our individual houses, that you go with us in the name of Jesus. We shall neither dead nor fall sick. All of us shall continue to be alive, to utilize all the God-given things on Mother Earth in the name of Jesus. God done for us. Thank you, Lord, for accepting our thanks. For in Jesus' name we pray.
My name is Tayo Lawal, Alhaji Tayo Lawal. I used to be a president of this association some time ago. And while we're here, we are observing our 2024 AGM. And by and by, I want to say that it's been quite revealing. It's a day that we have been able to achieve quite a lot in terms of how we are going to move our association forward. I am happy that we have taken the steps taken, and I believe that come 2025, by the grace of God, it will be much more successful. Thank you for coming to cover this very essential aspect of our association. Thank you very much.
Olatunji Sharif. I'm the national president of Ansar-ud-deen High School Old Student Association. We are here today for our annual general meeting. The annual general meeting is the forum where the members of the executive renders account of their stewardship to the members of the association, and it is also the forum where we give report of the financial expenditure of the association. Today's meeting went very well. We're happy. We had robust contributions from all the members that attended the meeting, and I believe that the association is moving forward, and by next year, by the grace of God, we'll be able to present a better report to members of the association.